Hi everybody, this is Mike Garner from MrMikeGarner.com coming to you, witnessing the world, and today I'm witnessing myself. Now, as you know, I'm into consciousness and energy, so everything I do, I have the intention of being holistic about it, having a wholesome life, taking into account everything mind, body, spirit. But I've got to tell you that if you've followed my story, you know that I've had challenges, and just recently, since I come back to the UK to see family and friends and do things, I've took a nosedive in my own personal health. In fact, you might even be aware that the hand that's holding this camera at the moment, this mobile phone, is shaking a little bit. About 2 years ago, I had a TIA, which is a mini stroke, and that in itself I could make a presentation on, but I'm very lucky really because it didn't damage or scar me too much, although scans tell me that there is scarring on my brain, but nothing that can't be repaired. You regenerate a new body every 13 months, and I work with Reiki and other healing modalities, focused hypnotic healing techniques to overcome that. But I have to maintain myself with a certain lifestyle, which I've not been doing on this particular trip back to the UK. Although I've really loved everything that I've done, people that I've seen, I've also, unfortunately, not been able to fulfill some of the promises that I've made to people and to groups to do things which I intended to do because of my own personal health. The last few days I've been very tired and my energy levels have dipped. My blood pressure's gone up, and that's had a dramatic effect on a lot of my senses. My memory's gone. I've had a few forgetful moments. I've had poor sleep, poor digestion. I've started to shake, and basically I've been run down and worn out. Now, this happens to a lot of people. Maybe if it's not the issue of a stroke symptoms, other physical symptoms for the things that you're dealing with in your life, bereavement, anxiety, stress, viruses, sicknesses and disease. I mean, the fact that I live a holistic life doesn't make me exempt from having these things happen to me. Ultimately, what happens is these things happen, and what happens is you have to holistically deal with it. Instead of going for meditation, you do medication. And doing meditation is good in itself, but if you do focused meditation, self-healing with hypnosis or focused vibrational techniques, which Reiki is one of, you can really accelerate that natural healing process, which I say takes 13 months. So I know that what was going on in my life last year affects my body this year, and what's going on in my mind and my life this year will affect the model of the body that I have next year. So that happens whether or not you understand it or not. But then there's a situation where you can accelerate healing, boost your metabolism, increase the healing response, your immune system, and really get the best out of yourself, which is where I'm concentrating now. I've cancelled pretty much everything, and for the last 2 or 3 days the time here in the UK, I'm getting some jobs done, but at a rate which I can cope with. I'm not overdoing it. I'm taking heed. I'm witnessing my body, witnessing the physical symptoms that I'm experiencing, detaching from them, not becoming too emotionally affected by it. Obviously it's disappointing, and I don't like to let people down, so there is some regret, but I'm not going into remorseful depression, and I'm not going to spit my dummy out, and I'm not going to be too down in the dumps, because allowing it to emotionally affect me brings down my mental energy, my physical energy, my spiritual connection. So if any of you guys out there are experiencing anything, then share it with me, and I'll share with you some of the techniques that I use And never think that what I post of my life, whether it's in Asia, whether it's in the UK, working over in Germany, wherever I am in Europe, whatever I'm doing, whoever I'm working with, just a normal guy. And although you can create miracles and do some wonderful things, we all have that vulnerability of the human condition. The body that carries our unlimited mind around is frail. There's a thin veil between life and death. There's a thin veil of duality between health and disease, control and chaos, lack of control. And I'm continually aware of how blessed I am to have survived some of the traumas in my life, to have learnt a lot from it, and to be able to apply those techniques to myself and to share them with you guys, which I am prepared to do if you contact me. So I'll sign off now. I'm in the park. Just posted a picture on Facebook of the lunch that I've had here with my daughter. She's just walked off with my 2 grandchildren and Watson the dog. Currently now, where are we? September 2019. So whenever you're watching this on Vimeo, YouTube, or as a memory on my Facebook timeline, the promise will always be there that I'm here to help. I help people overcome all the obstacles that stand in the way of their health, happiness and success. Most of those techniques I've learned because I've overcome my own health issues, the obstacles that have hindered my health, my happiness and my success. And I consider myself a winner, but it's something that you can't arrogantly take for granted. I have a lot of gratitude and I'm thankful for the many blessings that I've had. I consider myself an extremely lucky guy, and I love to share it with you. God bless. Have a wonderful, powerful day and enjoy your mind.